Social media is seductive. It appeals to people who are hungry for attention and sympathy. Narcissism feeds on constant validation, and it's been proven by researchers that individuals with narcissistic traits are very drawn to the appeal of social media and what it can do for their ego. One study found that the link between social media and narcissism is bidirectional, meaning that narcissistic traits increase with repeated use of social media, scrolling and posting, seeking instant serotonin. Biggest users exhibit many qualities related to narcissism.
Hello, my nips. Now, because the reason I don't want to make that a thing is because I didn't know this, but nips are actually like a sexual being, and obviously I'm not a very sexual being. I'm very much a gray sexual. Hello everyone, my name is Michelle Yggdrasil Nymph, and today I'm going to be talking about feigning illnesses, malingering, Munchausen syndrome, don't know why I can't pronounce that, and stuff like that. Mostly the reason I'm talking about this is, well, first of all, it's an important topic, but it's because of the TikTok epidemic.
Important story for parents to hear. Rise in teens on TikTok self-diagnosing themselves with rare mental health disorders, in most cases that they don't have.
DID typically occurs between the ages of 6 and 9.
Experts warning about what they call a troubling trend on TikTok that could leave some teens believing they have a serious mental disorder.
Hello.
Posts with the hashtag dissociative identity disorder and borderline personality disorder viewed hundreds of millions of times. Some of those videos listing possible signs to look out for and encouraging viewers to self-evaluate. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, borderline personality disorder is extremely rare. Only 1.4% of the U.S. adult population is estimated to have this condition, and it is rarely diagnosed in adolescence.
It's being picked up in a different way than it was before, because obviously we had Tumblr, and there's many court cases that people will feign illnesses, or people feign illnesses because they are in prison and they want to go to the mental health part of the prison instead. The DSM and word of mouth and TikTok makes it not just TikTok, I'm sorry.
Super easy to fake a disorder.
I was kind of happy a few years ago when I heard that it was being shut down. I distrust the algorithm. Today we are going to be talking about the reasons people fake, the types of faking, the most common fake disorders and the least common fake disorders, etc. Let me know if you have ever known someone who has feigned a disorder. And how do you feel about it? Like, if you have a specific disorder. It's horrible. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and comment below, because then the algorithm is like, okay, I guess I will push these videos. Enjoy the video or learn something.
DID seems to be taking over TikTok currently. There is a large illness here though, and it's not DID, ADHD, Tourette's, or any other manifold issues seemingly plaguing tons of TikTok users. Online, where popularity seems to account for a person's worth, narcissistic traits are very drawn to the appeal of social medias and what it can do for their ego. And the biggest users exhibit many qualities related to narcissism, with repeated active social media use. Most posers have suffered from some form of childhood trauma that had developed a personality disorder as a result. They are not delusional, they are fully aware that they are lying, nor are they deceitful about their practical purposes, to claim disability benefits, for example. They start a GoFundMes for attention, care, concern, tangible evidence of another person's sympathy towards them. They have long-term maladaptive ways of trying to get their goals met. In an age of diminished attention span, endless scrolls, and fake news, deception requires little energy, and to some extent we're all guilty of it. If it's not entirely fabricating, then presenting more polished versions of ourselves and lives. Social media is seductive. It appeals to people who are hungry for attention and sympathy.
I wanted to talk a little bit about wow. I wanted to talk wow. I wanted to talk a little bit about wow. Never mind. Hey everyone, I wanted
What are the reasons for feigning an illness? Not me filming when there's a fucking dust storm. Jesus. To gain something out of it. A lot of people will go to hospitals feigning illnesses because they want substances. Some people are trying to gain money. They're trying to gain housing, stuff like that. Another reason that people fake is, oh my god, I was gonna ask my brother-in-law to borrow one of his microphones, but he didn't answer me, so hello. Another reason people fake is to avoid something. They want probation or such instead of prison. My favorite.
Narcissism feeds on constant validation. One study found a link between narcissistic traits and malingerers online.
So malingering that is mostly common is
dissociative identity disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, major depressive disorder, schizophrenia, and other disorders such as schizoaffective disorder, tic disorders, Tourette's, etc. Malingering is not only obnoxious, but is harming an entire community.
some disorders that are very rarely feigned are
Substance use and abuse problems, anxiety disorder, personality disorders such as paranoid personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, disregard for rules, disregard for the rights of others, deceitfulness, manipulation, and aggressiveness, histrionic personality disorder, dramatic behavior, inappropriate sexual or proactive, needs to be the center of attention. A narcissistic personality disorder, feeling superior or special, lack of empathy, need for admiration, exploiting others, sensitive to rejection.
because who would want to brag about their narcissistic personality disorder? How to know if someone's faking. So this is a subject that I really want to maybe make another video about because a whole spectrum of things. It's very interesting and it might be able to help you through your journey, your swimming journey through the internet. If you put a bunch of teenagers in a room with no supervision, and that is what the internet is.
How to know if someone is faking.
And obviously it's more of a combination and the opinion of the therapist who is therapizing this person, psychiatrist, psychotherapist, what have you, or when you're trying to get diagnosed.
When they smile while describing their symptoms or while executing the symptoms that they allegedly have an unlikely symptom combination such as claiming to have dissociative identity disorder but also working perfectly with all of your alters, or major depressive disorder, and maybe this can be seen by a therapist if they walk into the waiting room all the time and this person is laughing, having a good time, and then in therapy they talk about how sad they are.
I'm 6. I'm a trauma holder. I don't remember what trauma I exactly hold. I just know I hold trauma. I just know it's not sexual trauma. I use he, him pronouns. Zola's my mother. I'm sorry. I don't know. I dress really feminine. Boys are cute. I don't know exactly. I'm sorry. We even got a secret handshake, and she loves the music that my band.
Let's go. Yeah. I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours
It's the return of the. Oh, wait, no, wait. You're kidding. He didn't just say what I think he did he? And Dr. Dre said, nothing, you idiots. Dr. Dre's dead. He's locked in my basement. Feminist women love Eminem. Chicka, Slim Shady. I'm sick of him. Look at him walking.
To breathe, what's come over me feels like I'm somebody else. I get over.
I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed. And I'll stay away until
I get overwhelmed so easily. My anxiety creeps inside of me.
I think it's very disrespectful that people are dancing to trauma, and I can't imagine how much pain the actual sufferers feel. A sophomore, Sarah Okari at Wayne Hills College expressed. It changes the whole definition of different disorders in the minds of multiple teenagers.
Just a little snippet. People are like, why are you so upset that Dissociated is faking rather than people saying that Axolotls in a trench coat was faking on this whatever? And it's like, here's why. Exos is seeking psychotherapy. Not psychotherapy, I don't know why I said that. Consistent therapy to heal and feel better rather than
Expressing themselves as multiple people who are inside the brain, they are now they recognize that they are one person, and that when another alter is nearby, they are still one person. It's not like they're this magical being that's behind their head talking to them. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't have the
cope
idea.
with this. I can't even imagine, like, for real, like. And I'm like, that's how I make that conclusion. Along with a lot of other things, because like I said, I never fake claim people. Except for Dissociated.
There is an entire community of people who are seeking validation on TikTok.
Lie to a therapist, and they are upset by even benign questions. They hesitate when answering as though they are trying to remember what they had said last time, coming up with the best answer to get what they want out of the situation.
Asking, what did I say before? And accusing you of thinking or inferring that they're faking. This is something that a lot of people with narcissistic traits will do. They will project onto other people. They cannot tell you any specific and lack details.
The three types, there's many types, but the types I'm going to talk about are, first of all, pure malingering, which is when someone malingers on purpose for a specific goal, and they know that they don't have the disorder. The difference between a malingering disorder and a factitious disorder are...
Malingering is an incentive externally to obtain substantial financial reward, escape from formal duty or punishment. Factitious disorders, the type of incentive is psychological, where they play a role, receive attention or non-financial reinforcement, or escape from informal duty, manage stress or conflict.
Partial malingering is exaggerating the real symptoms that they have. Causes of symptoms are different. For example, someone has an illness such as PTSD, and they say that they got the illness from an abusive relationship where they actually got it from a car accident.
Between the ages of 12 and 18, teens try to figure out their true sense of self, which is their identity formation. This is usually a time of different phases and aesthetics we try out, which helps us find identity and isn't harmful. However, this can get detrimental when people are self-diagnosing serious mental illnesses into themselves and treating them like just another phase.
Let me know if you have ever known someone who has feigned a disorder. And how do you feel about it? Like, if you have a specific disorder, such as my ADHD, it's not fun, and my experiences with dissociation is horrible. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and comment below, because then the algorithm is like, okay, I guess I will push these videos. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.
Bye.